Hello everyone, welcome back for some more Let's Read Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon. Last time we went to go search for Vlov right away, and we got an interesting non-standard game over, in that we got the game over, but it was because we're not ready to go to CL's route yet. So that would have been where CL's route split does happen. Instead, we are going to lock in, as far as I'm aware, to Arcuied's route with, I should at least wait here till evening falls. Let's see if it immediately then hits us with the, hey, you're on the route now. Let's see. Oh, it doesn't say. Okay. My heart says we can't allow Vlov to remain on the loose for another second, but that would be reckless. What was I even thinking? I can just go out there, find him, and kill him myself? That was just a scenario conjured up by my guilty conscience to tempt me into escaping reality. I need to keep a cool, level head, something I, Shiki, am known for. If I really want to defeat that vampire, and if I really want to reduce the number of casualties, then we have to stick it out for now. But even so, 3 days feels like a lifetime. It's like the 3 days before a new Smash Bros. Game comes out. Those are the longest days you'll ever feel.
Arcuied, 俺が見張りをする義務は昨日で終わりって言ったよな。
言ったけど、何よ、やっぱり怖くなった？
いや、そうじゃないんだ。ここからは義務じゃなくて協力になるなら、俺の頼みも聞いてほしい。俺はお前の言う通りにする。お前の指示に従う。盾は無理でも、ナイフぐらいはこなしてみせる。
That's true. Bad shield, but dang, that's a knife.
だからその代わり。
その代わり
？3日は待てない。今夜、奴を誘い出そう。
Oh. Really?
あなた、本気？
Huh. Yeah, I don't know about this plan, bucko. Arcuied peers at me skeptically, as if she's asking me whether or not I have a death wish. I'm well aware it's dangerous, but I'm not planning to back down from this either.
冗談でこんなこと言い出せるか？俺だって死にたくない。だから聞かせてくれ。今夜まで休んだお前と俺の目でブローブは倒せるか？
I feel like she doesn't have enough information on your eyes to truly make that call, buddy. She only kind of just met you. And she's only guessing that you have the eyes of death perception. Who knows, maybe you have some weird other eyes. Eyes of death glancing. You can sometimes see death. The only one capable of making that judgment is Arcuied herself. If she says it can be done, I'll wager everything I have on those odds.
そうね。シキが私の言う通りに動いてくれるなら、私たちの方が強いかな。でも、それでいいの？ 3 日待った方が安全だよ。
分かってる。でも、これが俺のギリギリの許容範囲なんだ。それ以上は精神が持たない。
まあ、それならいいけど、正直に言えば、3日間逃げ切れる可能性も低かったし。じゃあ今から路線変更。作戦会議ね。
Are you gonna spawn another whiteboard?
シキはどこで戦いたいの？
いや、いいのか？
I'm genuinely shocked at how easily she let me have my way. I was expecting a lot more pushback after seeing how serious she can get about battle.
それならいいって言ったでしょ？私が3日間逃げ切れるのか、今夜私たちでブローブを殺すのか、どちらも同じ成功率だもの。違うのはあなたの生存確率だけよ。
そっか。ありがとう、アルクエイド。
私としてはおすすめできないけど。ほんと、式ってわかんない。
I understand that my selfish request will make it harder to defeat Vlov with certainty, so I wasn't surprised that Arcuied looked a little dismayed by it. After all, she's all about efficiency. But I was surprised that she didn't reject it outright. I'm not sure if she did it to respect my feelings or if she just figured it didn't have much of an impact on her overall odds. Either way, I'm glad she agreed to side with me. The longer this goes on, the longer I'm just
ちょっ
imagining
と小休止ね。
how mad Akiha's gonna be.
お腹減ってるでしょ、シキ。さっきのおかわりいる？新しいの作ってあげよっか。
いや、自分で作るから。冷蔵庫の食材だけ好きに使わせていただきます。
You know what change I would love? I would love if Shiki actually had cooking ability somewhat. Because let me tell you, in the original, he really didn't. And he made a note of that. It'd be nice if he did. Just because... come on. It's the modern day. You're a man. Cook something. You should know how to cook the most basic stuff. I feel bad for not trying it, but I don't possess the fortitude to stomach whatever heaping of ingredients Arcuied slapped together on a plate. Maybe if I were in peak condition... No, not even then. Vlov is already plenty dangerous. If a confrontation with him is inevitable, I'd be better off avoiding Arcuid's lethal cooking at the very least. I like how he's assuming she just has no idea how to cook because she is an anime woman and possibly white, right? It's those two things. Watch it just be completely unseasoned chicken out there. I quickly cook up a simple meal before returning to talk to Arcuied. Nasu holding back on the food porn. Wow. He's saving that for fate because he knows that that's where it's meant to be, right? We've outlined a rough plan. Now we just need to refine it. The main issue is the fire. Unless we manage to do something about that, neither Arcuied nor I will be able to get close enough.
やっぱり奇襲しかないよな。あいつはお前が目的っぽかったし、アルクエイドにはおとりになってもらってブローブをおびき寄せる。
Just have her holding a bowl of borscht, and he'll go straight for Arcuied. Just remind him of his mama's cooking.
俺は事前に隠れていて、あいつがお前に気を向けている隙に背後から襲いかかるとか。
God, I could go for some borscht. I just ate supper. It's a sloppy plan, but it's not like I can think of anything better. Though it still doesn't solve the problem of the fire.
基本はその流れでいいと思う。私がおとり、シキがとどめ。シキならブローブがどれだけ命のリザーブを持っていても関係ないしね。
Shiki kinda does have like a one-hit KO Pokemon move on him. It's just a shame that, much like, you know, Pokemon, there's some stipulations to using it.
他にも問題はあるぞ。俺はともかく、お前はあいつと正面から向き合うんだ。あの手みたいな炎はどうするんだ？
What I wanted to just say, oh, I have the shield button.
それは問題じゃないよ。
Full screen shield button, then I press, as you know, when she's in cooldown, and I just press the counter.
一度受けてみてブローブの炎は3000と程度って分かったし、今から体を耐熱仕様に作り直しておけば耐えられるわ。
Oh, you can like readjust your stats? Well, that's crazy. Yeah. Only around 3,000 degrees? That's like a third of Macargo from Pokemon. I'm pretty sure even rock starts melting at that point.
周囲の炎はもっと簡単。あれは地表にかかっているだけの軽度の汚染だから、四季が物陰から出るとき、ちょっと気合を出して吹き飛ばしてあげる。
Oh, the flames around him are like a fire aura? Well, that's kind of crazy.
ホテルの時は四季が後ろにいたからできなかったけど。
Huh. It'll be a cinch, huh? It almost feels too simple, this slapdash plot of ours, but I should put some faith in the woman who saved me from him the first time.
だいたい決まりね。まず私が餌になってブローブをおびき寄せる。四季は事前に隠れておく。それでブローブがやってきたらちょっとだけ戦う。今夜の私の体力じゃブローブは倒しきれないけど、周囲の炎を消し飛ばして動きを抑えることならできる。
動きを抑えるって具体的にはまさかお前があいつに掴みかかって上から組み伏せるとか
Yeah, like wrestling.
そんな野蛮なこといたしません。直接組み伏せるとか無駄すぎるし、今まで一
I
度
made
も
a
したことないし、する必要性が感じら
I
れない
made
し。
a joke and she's saying it. Great.
そうか。じゃあどうやってブローブを抑え込むんだ
Alright, there's two things she can do, both of them from Melty, which I think would be super cool if they actually incorporate. The first is eye lasers. Red Arcuied has eye lasers. The second is if she actually uses her Melty Blood technique, where the chains come out, that'd be real cool.
場所によるけど、基本的には鎖かな。
Oh, frick! That's cool, because, hey, guess what? Those chains never appeared in the original Tsukihime. She got them in Melty Blood, and they came out of nowhere, and I'm like, what? Like, it makes sense where they come from when you know about her castle and stuff. It makes sense, but she never used them, and then they came out of nowhere in Melty Blood. So if we're actually getting her using them in canon, sick.
鎖鎖ってあの鎖か
Yes. Yeah, she said what she said, bro.
ええ。ほら、こんな風に。
Wait, what? Whoa! What the hell? A pair of chains just clamped shut around my wrists. Where did these things even come from?
空中の元素を固定化したものよ。私、その形はイメージしやすくて相性いいの。強度は、今なら1本あたり100トンぐらいまでかな。
Oh.
とにかく何十本と重ね掛けするから動きだけなら封じられる。
Alright, so this is the thing we learned in FGO. Literally, chemicals in the air, she can instantly bind them into things. Again, she can do basically 3D printing. Chains, okay, she can do chains because they're easy to visualize. That makes sense. So I thought they came from the castle somehow, but no, she just can visualize chains easy because they're literally in like her mental palace essentially. And that's why she can do chains. Okay, she's using the 3D printer for them. That all makes sense. That's really cool. I'm so happy they're actually using this because this never appeared in the original.
鎖の拘束は手足をメインにして胴体と頭は控えめにするから、式はブローブの胴体の死を切ればいい。
わかったからこれ解いてくれ。取れる。ブローブの前に俺の両手がもげる。
No, she's kind of like Spider-Man. It takes like 3 hours for them to dissolve, so good luck, buddy. The chains dissolve into thin air, disappearing just as quickly as they appeared. And here we've got yet another example of how ridiculously overpowered Arcuied is, buddy. Oh, bud. Oh, buddy. We haven't even scratched the surface. This is not even the top layer of the 13-layer trifle pudding that is Arcuied. But if she can call these chains in and out of existence, then she should also be able to tie down Vlov.
とにかく私は戦いになったら隙を見て縄状のものでブローブの手足を縛る。完全に動きを封じられるのは10秒ぐらいだから、そうしたら式は物陰から飛び出して正面からまっすぐ最短でブローブの線を立てばいい。
Yeah, you know those very easy to see lines that we saw last time.
大丈夫。式の腕ならあっけないぐらい簡単に殺せるわ。
I hope so.
正面からってお前
Arcuied says it like it's nothing, but I don't feel quite as confident.
いや経験していないことを目算に入れるのはやめよう。やっぱりさ、俺がなんとか背後から近づいてあいつの手足の線を切るよ。そうすればとりあえず自由を奪うことになるんだから。
I swear to God, Farquid's like, no. That leaves him open to using his most deadly technique. The flame fart. That way, Arcuied wouldn't even have to fight him. I'd like to save any fighting for if my ambush fails. I look at Arcuied to see if she approves of my plan.
式、それじゃああなたは死ぬわ。
Is it the flame fart?
え
これはどう行動すれば安全なのかの話じゃない。どうすれば死なないのかじゃなくて、どうやって殺すかの話でしょ。
それはそうだけど。
あなたはこれから吸血鬼を相手にするのよ。なら今夜だけでも人間の道徳観念は捨てて。そんな荷物を持っているといざという時に体が重くなるだけだから。
Discard your humanity. Something something, Jojo. No mask needed.
それぐらい分かってる。相手が化け物だから俺だって手伝う気になったんだ。
いえ、シキは分かっていない。手足を切る？やめてよ、そんな自殺行為。手足を切る暇があるのならまず命を切りなさい。他の生き物ならともかく、あなたにだけはそれができるんだから。
She raised a good point because let's be real. I feel like a vampire missing its limbs can just like still fly around and do other dumb stuff. And then the limbs will just come back.
いい？ブローブには反撃の機会を与えないこと。シキの利点は相手に正体が知られていないことだけなんだから。
Arcuied leaves me with no room for objection. Her crimson eyes say it all. She's telling me that if I miss my first shot, there'll be no second chances. And she has a point. Every second I waste cutting through his limbs is another second during which he can engulf my body in flames with his flame farts and burn it to a crisp.
ブローブは夜になればやってくる。その時に私たち、いえ、私とシキであいつをこれ以上ないっていう形で殺すの。どう生き延びるかじゃない。どう殺すのか、それだけを考えなさい。
Her gaze is fierce with disapproval. She's really angry. Angry at the fact that I'm still being so naive about all this.
分かった。俺はためらわない。
I won't hesitate, bitch.
一息で奴の線を全部切る。
Certified, like, vintage meme at this point. Pair it with some good cheese and crackers and sip it slowly.
それでいいんだろう、アルクエイド。
The ferocity in her gaze doesn't dim for a second. At least her silence suggests that she approves of my new attitude.
でもどこで待ち受けようか。このマンションじゃホテルの時と変わらない。
Oh, yeah, no, we
人気
need...
がなくて俺が隠れられるようなところは。
Yeah, no, an enclosed space with a fire dude is the dumbest idea ever, bucko.
この町の中央公園が最適よ。深夜になれば人通りはないんだし。
It's also
それで
real
も通
aesthetic.
りかかってしまう人がいたのなら、それは純粋にその人に運がなかっただけの話でしょ。
Oh, wow, they gave full 360 sprites to a lot of characters. Because I've seen GIFs of Akia and Hisui just spinning in circles with the new sprites. Arcuied looks away and turns her back to me as she speaks.
なんだよ。言いたいことがあるなら言えよ。
無理よ。結局シキは一度も殺すと口にしてくれない。このままだと最後の瞬間であなたはきっとためらう。それであっけなく殺される。
そんなことあるもんか。相手は100人以上の人間を殺した化け物だ。
Oh, he said it.
殺すことにためらいなんて
He said it
ある
again.
はずがないだろう。
Kurosu. Arcuied sighs softly. Oh, beautiful.
シキを魔眼で魅了してしまえば確実にブローブを仕留められるのにね。どうしてかな。初めてそういう気になったのに、初めてそうするのが嫌になっちゃった。
Is that enthrall there the same as what is mostly localized as charm? I mean, no, it says charm there, later. But is it what's mostly localized as charm in like FGO and stuff? Or is it a separate spell? Right? I don't know.
なんかすごい矛盾。
I always kind of forget she has mystic eyes
シキ
also.
を信じるわ。二人でブローブを倒しましょう。
Like, she does have mystic eyes, but I always forget that she does, and I always just chalk it up to, oh, that's just a vampire thing to do, right? No, it's specifically, she does have the mystic eyes. In a flash, her grim tone takes on its usual upbeat lilt again. This is a beautiful shot. The way that it incorporates the lighting is so nice, actually. Her eyes seem filled with trust, yet I can see concern creeping into her smile. Oh, that's it? We're just leaving with that little bit of concern? Something to chew on for later? God, we're just doing it right now, huh? Yo, this park. This iconic park that does exist and I do want to go to. Arcuied and I have arrived at the park a little past 9 p.m.
大事なことだからもう一度だけ説明しておこうかな。
So, here's how it works whenever there's like a plan. If they go over it ahead of time, it's going to fail. If they don't tell you, the viewer, the plan, it's going to work.
長く生きた人にはそのあり方を武器にした懲罰能力がある。
What are those? We're just getting brand new terms thrown at us left and right.
吸血種に備わった基本的な能力とは別の、その個体が血を飲むことで持ってしまった特別な呪いみたいなものね。
Huh. Is that the official name for like a vampire's noble phantasm, if you will?
ブローブはその域に達している人よ。使徒を倒すということは、その懲罰能力を破るということ。
Yeah, that word wasn't in the original, or have I ever seen it before?
あの炎を消す手段を獲得しない限り、人間に勝ち目はない。だから、私がブローブの呪いを壊すまで、シキはあいつに近づかないでね。
The plan is simple. First, Arcuied will lead him here. She told me that vampires can sense one another's location unless they make an effort to conceal their biological wavelength or something. Apparently, Vlov isn't hiding his wavelength at all. It's sort of like having Street Pass, you know? Vampire Street Pass. Ooh, that's a good band name. Though Arcuied wasn't sure if that was because he didn't want to, or doesn't want to, or because he can't. Luckily for us, that means she'll know exactly when Vlov approaches us and where from. Normally, Arcuied would hide her wavelength, but right now she's letting it go free, broadcasting her whereabouts and issuing a challenge to Vlov. Okay, vampire Wi-Fi is a new thing. Cool. I mean, it's kind of like, I always equate it to, like, again, something else that I know, and it just makes me think of, oh, stand users attract other stand users, right? Same thing, right? Vampires will run into other vampires. Trying to draw him like a moth to the flame. Get it? Because he uses fire. With a bit of luck, the moth will fly straight into our proverbial zapper. Oh, buddy. Oh, you like this metaphor, don't you? Then all we'll have to do is follow through with the plan. I'll observe the battle from my hiding spot in the bushes, while Arcuied binds Vlov with her chains. Then, at the signal, I'll jump out and cut through his lines. Arcuied doesn't look nervous at all. If anything, she seems a little bored, as her gaze lingers over empty space. I wish I could be that calm. I grip my knife tight in my pocket. It's a bit nerve-wracking. There are a lot of uncertainties in this plan. For one, it hinges on Vlov not noticing me while I hide. Arcuied told me that the chances of him noticing me were extremely low. That doesn't mean they're non-existent. If he does notice me, I'll be done for. I'll be burned alive without any recourse, just like he did to so many within the hotel. Even so, I'm fine with those odds. I agree to this plan knowing full well the risks involved. There's just one more major variable. What if Arcuied can't bind Vlov? In other words, what if Vlov manages to beat Arcuied? I'd have to deal with him by myself. It'd come down to me and a single knife to defeat Vlov and save Arcuied. Can I even do such a thing? Can I face those flames alone? Oh, yo, the shot of her shadow, oh, so good. Again, some super creative use of, again, people talked about this game does not have the same cinematic sort of almost production values as Witch on the Holy Night, which makes sense because it's, I think, like a third of the, like, Witch on the Holy Night is short. This is like way, way longer, right? But they still do some good stuff. I still like it. We haven't even got to a full, like, action scene yet, so. Felt like someone's been in the room with me for a bit. Ugh. Speaking of that, just the thought of it makes me tremble. I tighten my grip on the knife, coiling my fingers around the handle so hard it hurts. An implacable... Is it implacable or implacable? I don't actually know. I think it's... You know what? We have time to Google. I'm going to type it in. Implacable? Let's see here.
Implacable.
It is implacable. It means unable to be placated. Cool. Okay. Just wanted to double check. An implacable fear wells within me. I can't even pin down what I'm afraid of.
怖いの、Shiki?
Before I realize it, Arcuied is standing right in front of me. How pathetic. My quivering must have gotten pretty bad if she noticed.
ああ、めちゃくちゃ怖い。あの吸血鬼が近づいてくるかと思うだけで泣きたくなる。
I think that's fair.
ん？Shiki、泣いてないけど？
必死に我慢してんだよ。わかれ、バカ。
He's the type to let it stew on the inside while casting an image to the world that everything's fine. I get that. She's so bad at reading the mood. I wish she just had the slightest clue of what I'm feeling. Why is she the one who's looking hurt? Arcuied purses her lips, seemingly dissatisfied with my answer.
ところで、私もその吸血鬼なんだけど。
Yeah, but you're like a weird exception. You are, but you're not.
ああ、知ってるよ。なん
だから、吸血鬼である私が怖くないの？今までのあなたの定義からすると、生き物として嫌悪の対象になると思うんだけど。
え？
I'm a little taken aback by her sudden remark. She's not entirely wrong, but...
なんか、お前は別。だって血を吸ったことないんだろ。ならいい。吸血鬼だろうとなんだろうと、俺たちに手を出さないでいてくれるなら、それでいいんだ。
And that's why Shiki hates MMA fighters.
なるほど。そういう考えもありなんだ。
I guess that convinced her. It's like Arcuied's previous hang-up slid off her like water off a duck's back. Love that saying. It's so evocative. As you can imagine, this little, just water. You pour it on a little duck and it just, oh, there it goes. The hands on the clock indicate it is now 10 p.m. Wow, just like real life for me. According to Arcuied, this is when vampires start to get active, and I fall asleep usually. He's likely coming up above ground now. I don't know where he's holed up. I do, actually, and it's wild. But he'll notice Arcuied's presence as soon as he wakes and likely make a beeline for the park.
正気？
What? Arcuied's demeanor shifts. Her words drip with contempt as she turns away from me, peering north towards the
アル
station.
クエイド。
信じられない。あいつ、本当にその一人なの？
What? What? I follow her gaze over the horizon. Is that smoke? Thick black smoke curls upwards into the night sky. There must be a fire down. Wait. A fire?
アルクエイド。あれ、まさか。
ブローブよ。無差別に人を襲ってる。
Wow. Yeah, he's kind of not doing his job properly.
正気が欠けている。なんて甘かった。あいつは死者と変わらない。血が足りなければ目の前の人間から補充する獣だった。文明社会、この時代の人間のルールをまるで把握していない。
That's wild. Yeah, no, he's not a smart one. The sound of a faraway explosion rings through the air. The smoke surges into the air with newfound intensity. This is bad. If he's moving through the downtown area, then this'll be on a whole other scale from the hotel. Number of victims alone would be at least in the thousands.
Arcuied.
I thought we'd be fighting in the park. This is the iconic fight place. Are you serious?
分かってる。急ぎましょう、シキ。
We run for the station. Just what the hell's going on over there? Oh. I'm gonna be real. I think those noises are the same, no matter the language, and do not require translation brackets. He awakes in agonizing pain. His screams pierce the air. There was a loud grinding noise like a piece of metal getting caught in a blender. His cries are horrific, otherworldly. So horrific they even make his minions tremble. Ugh, I don't like that noise. He writhes and flails and lashes about, but none of his protests numb the pain enveloping his entire being. The skin at his fingertips splits and cracks. Acid oozes from within his bones, melting and gnawing at his body from the inside out. His heart shrivels and corrodes from the necrosis, only to regenerate again, forcing him to prolong his own suffering. An unending cycle of torture, doomed to last as long as he lives. His only escape would have been death. But even that salvation was stolen from him long ago. He doesn't remember why he abandoned death. He doesn't remember when it was that death became such a distant concept. All he knows is suffering, cold, pain, heat, fear. His mind is filled with nothing but animalistic screams. He knows that he came to this land in pursuit of something, to kill something. He left the woman he loved behind and crossed the turbulent waters. This is his last chance. He's prepared to reclaim it all, leaving himself no hope for a return journey. The only question is how much remains for him to recover. Day by day, sanity is stripped from his mind. Day by day, the curse consumes his body. Was this fate bestowed upon him as punishment for crimes committed in some distant past? Not even he remembers. He's already forgotten so many things. Whatever it is he yearns to take back, his sanity is no longer on the table. Sanity was lost to him long ago. Sanity can never be found again. His wealth and assets, too, were lost when he traversed the oceans. Now there was no way for him to return to his homeland. The only way for him to survive is to turn this foreign land into his second domain. Yet his past, his future, they matter not. At this moment in time, he craves but one thing: blood. His throat is freezing. His skin is parched. His soul hungers. He needs warm blood as soon as possible. He desires to bathe in it as soon as possible. Questions like where he is or what he's doing pale in the face of such a fervent's the word. Let me try that sentence again. Questions like where he is or what he's doing in the face... Wait, this is such a weird sentence. I get what it's saying, but it's a weird one, right? Questions like where he is or what he's doing pale in the face of such fervent longings. Bit awkward. I'd edit that personally, but that's just me. He walks through the darkness. Zombies obediently fall in line behind him, marching silently along. The metal box carries him to the surface, where he creeps outside into the brightly lit streets. That very instant, azure flames spill out, flooding the area around him like a ripple on a lake. The humans in the vicinity had no way of sensing the impending danger. Shrouded by a blue haze, he mindlessly steps out into the crosswalk, ignoring the blinking traffic lights in the van that threatens to crash into him. Oh, so this is why this becomes a stage in Melty Blood. Okay. Meanwhile, his ghouls seize innocent passerby left and right, grabbing them by their shoulders and taking them to the ground. A plethora of horrific noises follow, the crunching of bone, the devouring of flesh. And though the people scream and cry, none of them flee. By the time they realize this terrible reality has befallen them, they have no recourse. The van collides with the strange man, but at the moment of impact it is split down the center. In less than a minute, those caught by the ghouls are reduced to pitiful scraps of flesh. Flames fan out through the area, scorching the legs of those trying to escape until they are little more than charred stumps. Their wriggling torsos remain behind as fodder for the ghouls to feed on. Hell's pandemonium, given life on Earth. In the middle of the pandemonium, the man regains a glimmer of reason. He squints at the dazzling lights around him. Though his thoughts are still drenched in his own pain, the sight stirs disgust within him, providing a brief moment of clarity. It would be so scary for this dude to just be standing in the middle of burning Tokyo, muttering to himself in Russian. Before him is a vast cornucopia of humans. Normally he would feast and drink till his gut was brimming with rich, warm blood, but the urge to do so does not strike him now. How can this land be called fertile if the humans inhabiting it have tainted it so? The azure flames surround the living dead. They engulf the ghouls, changing their very being and rewriting their composition. They become a type of undead fueled by the flame. In exchange for their swollen strength, their lives quickly burn out like candles. Bro, you need some, I think you need some chapstick. His lips look mighty dry. His physiological disgust only amplifies his curse. Blue flames spill from his being, rushing across the asphalt like a... Which I've been told, okay, hold up, listen. I'll finish the sentence and I'll talk about it. Blue flames spill from his being, rushing across the asphalt like river bursting free from its dam. Now, people have called me out and they say, don't you mean asphalt? No. Did you know that in the specific part of Canada where I come from, we say asphalt? It's true. That is a regional thing, and you're not getting that out of me. I am 29 years old, and I've been saying asphalt since I was probably about like 12. I don't think I'd ever say it before I was that age, but still. There, it finds and claws and devours all living things. Ooh! God, you're just a doomer. You're kind of cool, though! The seared human fruits burst and spew their warm juices as he tramples over their flesh. He accepts their offering with head bent in distaste, an act tantamount to being showered in vomit, but what other choice does he have? If he were not bathed in this disgrace, his body would not move. The burning zombies fall back into line behind him like a ghastly parade. He does not remember what he was chasing, but until he remembers, there is only one thing for him to do, a much-needed service that he is to provide. He sneers, thinking how these humans ought to suffer and die. Yes, this bloated den of humanity deserves a wretched end. Dang, yeah, we better hurry. Because things are not looking good. Change the common sense. The town is in chaos. No, he's not in this game. People crowd the streets as they push and pull to escape the mayhem. The fire in front of the station is visible from here. An emergency broadcast plays on the large digital displays on the sides of the buildings. A fire has broken out at the north exit of Soya Station. All trains heading in and out of Soya have been temporarily suspended. People in the downtown area are currently running for their lives. Oh, I don't think that last one was said like the train announcement. The broadcast switches over to a news presenter interviewing a young girl. She's wearing a high school uniform. It seems she only just managed to slip away from the fire. Yeah, it's not Satsuki. Uh-oh. So this isn't good. This is good. This is going to be everyone learning about mystics. The church is gonna have to come in and do some stuff. Her voice is panicked, driven delirious by the dire situation. Oh, we're gonna need some crazy gaslighting to get this fixed. The fire spreads relentlessly, and the entire neighborhood has been urged to evacuate. But even with those orders in place, the main street is full of people. They gather and draw together, spurred by curiosity. From a distance, they watch the fire unfold, filming and sending messages to update their friends and family. This sucks, but it's super realistic. The road to the station has already been blocked off. If only I had the ability to cut anything. Fire prevention, perhaps? No, it's too soon for that. There are still too many people in the area to be blocking it off like this. It's almost like they're trying to keep whatever it is inside from escaping. Whoa. Do the police know about mystics? That'd be crazy. Could you imagine an entire police force with like the power of like noble phantasms or something? Frick, that'd be kind of cool. We aren't getting through this way.
Shiki, kochi.
Oh yeah? Arcuied seizes my hand. Without another word, she tugs me along, guiding me through the mass of onlookers drawn by the fire. The back alleyway. Are we just gonna Mega Man X wall jump up? Please tell me we do. Please tell me you just literally Mega Man X wall jump up. She lets go of my hand. Arcuied slowly scans the wall of the nearest building.
これならいけそう。2人で飛ぶのは初めてだけど、この高さなら問題ないはず。
Shut up, yes, let's go. I mean, it's just gonna be a single jump, but... Arcuied doesn't hesitate for a second. She grabs my arms as if to secure me.
上まで飛ぶわ。しっかり捕まってなさい、シキ。
Onto what? Whoa. Sick. Yo! Oh, that art rules. Oh, that art is so good. That whole sequence was awesome. We're flying. No, we're jumping. Arcuied leaped against the wall. Yes. Yes. Oh my god, yes, she did Mega Man X wall jump. Yes. Arcuied leaped again. I love a woman who can Mega Man X wall jump. Arcuied leaped against the wall, bouncing off it onto the next multiple times until we found ourselves soaring above the rooftops and high across the skies. With me in tow, of course. We're so high up, I'm going to lose it. How high are we even? We're above the building, so it's what, 40 meters higher? A 20-meter high roller coaster is enough to give me a heart attack, so it's going to be double that. All with my feet dangling over open space.
シキ、黙ってないと下噛んじゃうよ。
How are you talking and doing that then? Arcuied tilts her head at my screams, but having said that, her movements only grow more turbulent. She jumps from building to building to building, bouncing off the rooftops like she were a rabbit hopping around the moon. Wow, more moon metaphors. My expression tightens as my body is subjected to forces unimaginable. Just as I'm beginning to enjoy the experience, we come to a full stop. We're atop a tall building that provides us a panorama of the city. God, the red lighting on her? Frick, that's good. A rooftop garden concealed from unwanted eyes, yet here we stand.
お前、なんて無茶を。
The abrupt up and down movement has me heaving to catch my breath. My chest hurts. I'm sure the blood pressure spike was bad for my heart. And even though there was no change in air pressure, my whole body is rigid from coming to such an abrupt halt. It's like I've got the bends. That's, for those of you who don't know, that's when you are deep in the ocean and you rapidly arise. Your body gets basically the rapid change in water pressure. It's not good for you.
見て、あそこよ。
見ろって。
I don't manage to finish the thought. For a moment, I even forget about my racing heart. It's all on fire. Our city. This place that I know so well. Its familiar buildings are awash in a sea of flame. My eyes adjust to the sight and I can see the tragedy play out in full view. The main street is veiled in hues of red as the fire colors the town. The flames whittle away the surface of the buildings like a knife. An unholy river of flames, with that man at the center of it all, basking in the rain of blood as he sates himself. There are silhouettes spreading out in front of him. Police officers have him surrounded on all sides to stop his onslaught. That's wild that they know it's him. You know, I mean, to be fair, it'd be like mad suspicious that this guy is standing there and letting everything, yeah. No, I feel like he's also a foreigner in Japan, which means that he is the first, you know, the first one they would go for. Oh, they're firing on him. Oh, if only someone had the doohickey. The muzzles of their pistols flash as they all fire on cue. Vlov doesn't flinch in the slightest. He likely hasn't even noticed the police's presence. More silhouettes step out from the flames behind the monstrous man. Flaming zombies, which is just a fun sentence. Some of them have been alive mere minutes ago, but now they're little more than shambling corpses. They approach the police officers, as if begging for their help. That's bad. That's real bad. Utter disbelief coats my voice. It's too late to turn back now. All the urge and bravado I had for this mission was bleached away by the sight of the town. The only thing left is pure horror. It is real interesting that we basically were like, let's do the same thing that, you know, we did for Chaos in the original. And it turns out, no, he had other plans. So this is a vampire's true power. A power that enables him to kill people just by existing. And we're supposed to defeat him?
いないわね、教会の連中。
Yeah, that's the surprising thing.
ここまで見境なしならそろそろやってくるはずだけど、やっぱりこの国には赴任していない。
Right? It's so strange. You'd think there'd be so many church people here. You think they'd be coming in from all over to all the different churches and all. You think the Misaki town people would be here, right?
でも、その割にはきっちり交通規制はしているし。ここの大公社、実戦じゃなくて制服組なのかしら。
Oh, interesting. Maybe there's an executor who's more on the political side. Oh. Arcuied's focus lies elsewhere, away from the river of flames. She seems to be on guard for something else.
さあどうしようかシキ。
I don't know.
見ての通りブローブはあの状態よ。私を探し出そうとする理性すらなかったただの殺戮者。あのまま放っておけばあいつは血を消耗して弱体化する。ブローブの存在規模から言ってこの町は燃え尽きるだろうけど、その後なら私一人でも倒せるわ。
Yeah, no, I kind of need to live here. I have family and... Yeah.
楽をして傍観をする？それとも
I know what she's saying. Do I want to brave the danger to save these lives? She must already know my answer, but she's still checking my resolve one last time. A chill crawls down my back, but I stare back with as much willpower as I can muster.
方針に変更なしなのね。これを見ても気が変わらないなんて、あなたもブローブのことは言えないかも。
Okay, well, my kill count is remarkably lower, I'll say that.
でもどうするの？私はこのまま始めても構わないけど。
It starting? Is she saying she can change the location of the battle? What are you talking
なん
about?
とかできるのか、あの状況。
うまくいけば、私も人目につくのは避けたいし。
Wait. Are you gonna use, like... Are you gonna use your cube? Are you gonna cube him? Or what are you gonna do? I'm so curious.
頼む。今すぐあいつを叩き出してくれ。
Are we gonna bring him to the Millennium Castle? I swear to God.
了解。ならあいつごとそこに落とすわ。
Wait, what? Do you mean down below? To the inner sea of the earth where the Millennium Castle
あ
lie?
の下、なんか空洞みたいだし。
Oh. No sewers, okay. Take him below? A cavern? What is she talking about? Never mind, this is the time to be asking questions. We've got to get him away from here as fast as we can.
でも約束は忘れないで。ちゃんと後からついてきてね。
And before my mind has time to catch up with all she said, Arcuied jumps, leaving me here. How do I get down? Guess I'm taking the stairs. She abandons me on the roof and leaps into the void. Yeah, What? Oh, are we getting the cover image? There she floats, like a beautiful pale flower caught in the breeze. A flurry of air catches her body as she falls from the rooftop. Unfettered from the chains of gravity, unanchored by nature's laws, instead of falling, she rises gently, like Miles Morales. Like a ship in the wind, she sails across the night sky. Ah, there it is. Beautiful. The iconic image. I can't even be surprised. She's like an infant. Look, Shiki. I'll say this. At least you're using the infant metaphor for not a really gross metaphor in a dirty moment. That was weird. Thank you for not doing that. She's like an infant incarnation of the planet. Every fluctuation that plays across its surface belongs to her. All of nature's blessings, all its fury, that which nurtures life and that which destroys it, both are hers to wield, to embody.
よーし。
Are you going to do your true ancestor punch? Because this is her noble phantasm. The beautiful flower swivels her body away from the moon. Her attention shifts from the skies to the ground. It's time for her unbound chains and coiled up anchors to slam into the ground. Below her is the concrete castle, spewing sparks of flame.
せーの。
Oh my god, you're actually doing it. Oh wow! Yeah, your noble phantasm, looks very different in Not Fate. Wow! The flower that bloomed in the night transforms into a falling star. The moon lily becomes a tempest to blow away the conflagration. She's a human missile. Actually, she's not human. She must have fallen from a height of some 80 meters in the sky to hit Vlov. No, not fallen. It was calculated. She launched herself right at him. After adjusting her trajectory in midair, she accelerates towards her target with missile-like precision. She hit that Dr. Doom dive kick, you know? Dirt and debris erupts in a cloud around the impact site. The massive storm of dust sweeps the area. Even the ever-expanding river of fire is snuffed out in one fell swoop. The police officers that had surrounded Vlov are sent flying backwards by the blast. Most of them are instantly put out of commission. Those who weren't knocked out are too overcome by fear to mount any sort of resistance. A perfectly natural response. Yeah? The dust settles, unveiling the scene below, or what's left of it anyway. Arcuied's attack didn't just take out Vlov, she plunged into the earth and shattered through its surface, taking a station at the station's north exit and a good chunk of the shopping district down with her. So this is what she meant when she said she'd take him down. The crater has got to be at least 40 meters deep. Feels like I'm witnessing some spectacle of nature on par with the Amazon rainforest or Niagara Falls, Canada mention! We do it, guys. Oh my god, that's the third time Niagara has been mentioned in the Nasu verse, which is like the third time Canada's been mentioned in the Nasu verse. It's only ever Niagara Falls. It's only ever Niagara Falls. Of course, this isn't praise. From my vantage point on the rooftop, I don't spot any casualties. Police officers outside of the blast zone come rushing in to tend to their unconscious brethren. They then set out to withdraw from the area. As a result, the vicinity is completely cleared of human life. She's one hell of a force to be reckoned with. Oh? Was that Vlov's fire? Maybe Arcuied missed her target or Vlov managed to dodge just in time. Either way, he's still alive. What a monster, surviving a blast like that. But something is chasing him down within the flames. A burst of white flashes from within the cloud of dust, pushing back against him. You're gonna come in after me, okay? Arcuied's words echo in my mind. There'll be time to think later. For now, I've got to get down from here. He's taking the stairs. I honestly thought that he would like jump from the side of the building and plunge his knife into the glass and cut through the building and the resistance would slow him down, even though Mythbusters proved that that is literally impossible. I make for the stairs. I cut through the lock on the door with my knife. I hurtle down the stairs by the glow of the emergency lights. My resolve and my breathing are both rendered wild and ragged as I speed downwards. All I have to do is sever Vlov's lines. First, Arcuied will fight him and bind him with her chains. Then it'll be my turn. I'll run up to him, cut his lines, chop him to pieces. What Arcuied did just now was truly amazing. It's no wonder she insisted she could restrain him. That said, Vlov is still alive and well. There's a chance that Arcuied underestimated him, and if she did, her wounds put her at a disadvantage. Worst case scenario, I'll have to face Vlov alone. No, that won't happen. We didn't plan for the worst because there never was any need to. Because if Arcuied were defeated, there'd be no option for me but to run away. At last, I make it to an elevator. I throw myself inside and slam the button for the first floor. There's no more time for doubts. Even if there was, I'm way too deep to voice them. I try to take a deep breath. Check myself over. Good. Still in one piece. Body's still moving. And the parts that feel stiff are my fingers. They're gripped so tightly around my knife that they don't even feel like they're part of my own body. Is this fear I'm feeling? Am I scared of facing that monster? That incarnation of violence? If that's all it is, then I'm fine. At least this proves I'm still in my right mind. This is a creature that can kill just by being in close proximity to someone. Any human ought to be afraid of that. But that leaves one other fear. The real problem. Namely, I'm more afraid of killing than being killed. My breathing quickens. My heart thumps faster in my chest like it's trying to break free from my body. I thought that was my doorbell ringing until I realized it is 11 p.m. and that's not what our doorbell sounds like. I arrive at the first floor. Adjusting my grip on my knife, I run as fast as I can towards the crater. I step out of the building and witness the mountain of rubble before me. Slowly, I inch closer to the crater, stopping just short of where the ground caved in to peer over the edge. It's definitely 40 meters deep. There was a park here once, but there's no trace of it now. The debris is scattered across the slope all the way down to where it bottoms out into the cavern. It looks like it'll be too steep to climb back up, though I should be able to get down safely enough. Which is why Yeah, don't even get it. Oh. Huh. I feel like if I scope things out, I'm going to be eaten by a zombie. So let's try that. I can't just go down there now. The pit below is filled with azure flames as far as the eye can see. In the middle of it all stands the towering vampire. Vlov Arcuied. It appears that explosion didn't even scratch him. What a monster. By human standards, he might as well be immortal. Even so, the figure in white still dances circles around him, like a beautiful huntress darting and weaving through an orchard, that's the word, of flame and crumbling rubble. The figure in white is Arcuied. She leaps over the river of flames to close in on Vlov. Okay, so he is using his sword, yeah. Yeah, in his hands is some crude weapon. At a glance, it looks like a long sword, but its blade is shaped like a machete. That's how it's described, I'd say. Arcuied, on the other hand, is fighting back against him with her bare hands. She's only got her legs to run and her clawed hands to strike. And even so, this proves enough to counter Vlov's machete. He's forced backwards after one tremendous blow. The wound left on his arm is deep enough for me to see the bone beneath. The sight lasts only a moment. By the time Arcuied slashes Vlov's flesh, his blood is already flowing over it, repairing the gash. Arcuied warned me about this. Vampires won't die as long as their supply of blood isn't exhausted. And just like she said, a wound fatal to any ordinary creature disappeared in the blink of an eye like it was never there. He swings his heavy blade without fear. Arcuied is careful not to overextend. Whenever she lands a blow, she quickly leaps back, just out of his blade's reach. She must be wary of him landing a counterstrike. That's not it. Her face says it all. She's enjoying the chase.
死ににくいだけがあなたの取り柄なの27層も質が落ちたものね。このまま奥の手も見せないで私に殺される
Vlov's breathing comes out in ragged heaves. His morbidly pale skin is painted with anguish. He may be immortal, but there's a limit to his powers. Even though he appears to be unharmed, Arcuied's dive bomb must have wrecked him, maybe even dealt an otherwise fatal blow. And in regenerating his entire body, he's burned through most of his energy. Arcuied's in a similar situation due to me killing her. That sort of thing must have taken a toll on Vlov too. I take it she's thinking the same thing, so she's distancing herself after each attack. Don't do that, he's a zoner. essentially baiting Vlov to move in for the kill, hoping he'll risk it all on a full-blown counterattack. The metallic ringing of blows reverberates through the air. Vlov's breathing is a mess. An awful, foreboding chill creeps up my back. Arcuied's got the upper hand, and Vlov is clearly getting exhausted. So why am I feeling so uneasy watching all this unfold? As if Arcuied's claws are no longer hitting him like they were before. Worse, despite Vlov's ragged appearance, his sword play, machete play is still top-notch. As if he can see right through Arcuied's actions, anticipating and calculating her every move. Worst of all, he still hasn't used that flaming claw of his yet. Oh, there it is. Vlov howls. The fire shudders and roars and soars in response. Swirling several meters high, the flames grow into an inferno that towers over the both of them. They then split into countless blazing branches. The underground coliseum has morphed into a jungle of flame. Walls of fire press in around Arcuied, blocking off her escape routes. At that moment, high above her, melting straight through the rubble, hands composed of heat stretch their fingers wide before slamming straight into her body. Woo! In that 1 second, the tides shift in Vlov's favor. Arcuied told me that she could withstand temperatures up to 3,000 degrees, but these flames just burn straight through concrete. They've got to be far hotter than that. Vlov stacked 3 of those fiery hands atop one another. A strike like that wouldn't even leave ashes behind. She never had a chance of escape, and now the fire only serves to lap up its prey. That's how it ends for the woman in white. Incinerated, without a trace. That is, if this has happened last night. Oh! What? Where'd this come from? Okay. It's not exactly your outfit in Fate. The flames part. A white skirt flutters in the wind. My gaze is glued to the scene, mesmerized by her transformation. Sorry, she has a super form? But not Hime? What? Okay. She told me all about it. Oh, good, because this is news to me, buddy. I've got a plan. I'll remake my body beforehand. This black and white battle dress must be the culmination of her plan. A piece of armor that can withstand the heat of Vlov's... it's a mystic code? Just say it's a mystic code. Okay, well, you wouldn't know that. But we would. I wonder if it looks the way it does, because it absorbed his flames, or if Arcuied made it that way. Either way, the flames have no effect on her now. Her plan went off without a hitch. Arcuied's victory was all but assured once she figured out that fire was Vlov's main weapon of attack back in the hotel. Vlov assails her with more fiery claws. But Arcuied bats them away with a casual flick of her left wrist. I don't know if I love this design. I don't know if I like it too much. It reminds me too much of Saber Lily. As easily as parting her hair, she cleaves through the wall of flames, scattering them left and right. The sparks that manage to touch her white dress sizzle and fade in submission. Her golden hair streaks behind her like a shooting star. The way she moves and swings her claws now is unlike anything I've seen her do so far. Vlov is forced to stumble back, helpless against her onslaught. Like, I'll say, I've seen this outfit before, but I always thought it was like a anniversary outfit thing that, like, never appears in actual things, you know? The difference between them is astounding. It's hardly even a contest anymore. Vlov went from hunter to hunted the second his flames were rendered useless. Arcuied is absolutely relentless, inflicting fatal wound after fatal wound as she corners the vampire. The only reason Vlov's still standing must be because he's still got some blood in reserve. That will run out sooner or later, especially since there's no one left in the area for him to feed off of. All that's left is that which already flows within his body. Just a few more hits like this, and that'll be gone too. He'll be starved, and once he no longer possesses the fuel he needs to regenerate, he'll be little more than a regular corpse. A plea for mercy, undignified, like a spoiled child. Gone is his skillful display with the machete. His swings turn wild and graceless as he haphazardly lunges at Arcuied, almost like he was trying to cast away his fears. But she doesn't miss her chance to retaliate. Oh, did that just break? Dang, okay. Are we hitting the round two? The round two gimmick? The vampire cries as he leaps into the air. Getting away from Arcuied takes every last ounce of blood-fueled power that he has. He flees, soaring higher and higher, aiming past the confines of the crater. Even a 40-meter deep crater isn't enough to keep him trapped. It's likely that he intends to scour the surface for more blood to replenish his supply. Bro's looking for healing items. Whoa! Sorry, Ivy? Okay. But Ivy wraps around his legs before he has a chance for escape. Wait, does it? I think she uses this in FGO. Okay, is she gonna do the thing I think she's gonna do with it then? Because she does a cool thing in FGO with it. But Ivy wraps around his legs before he has a chance to escape. It sprouts from the earth in a flash, tangling itself around the vampire with incredible force and drags him right back into the center of the hole. That's a good voice clip. The river of fire at Vlov's feet is reignited. I watch as the azure flames turn the ivy to ashes, but it's not enough to release him of his shackles. New vines spring forth from the topsoil of the ashes. No matter how many times he burns through them, the chains remain unbroken, reviving again and again like a phoenix. Even the immortality of a vampire pales in comparison to nature's infinite cycle of rebirth. These vines are that cycle made manifest. Short of burning down the entire planet, there's no way to escape them. No amount of vampiric powers or curses can extinguish nature's breath. Arcuied dashes in his direction. Everything about her posture and demeanor tells me that she's going in for the final blow. She's already crushed every last one of his attacks. Finally, she decided to put an end to this. I'm happy to let her do the honors. She doesn't even need my involvement. Oh buddy, oh no, what are you doing? Any moment now, Arcuied will crush Vlov. There's just one thing. Even with our victory so close at hand, my heart beats like crazy. Something feels wrong. His agony, his labored breath, something tells me things aren't as they seem. The anguish painted on his sallow face is clearer than ever. In this incandescent, he alone inhabits a different world. A white breath so out of place amidst the fiery sea that envelops him. I know that look in his eyes. It's one of obsession and of self-preservation. He is both the aggressor and the victim, which is when I realize that we made a huge mistake.
バカ、何考えてんだ、俺は。
Arcuied's victory is already guaranteed. I'd be an idiot to try and interfere now. I ought to sit here and observe. There's no need for me to plunge into that hellscape. Knowing that Okay, wait. I'm actually gonna go back. Because we survived that. We survived that, which means... Right? Whoops. If we look at the flowchart here... Oh, wait. Wait, there's multiple. Scope out, we watch from above. That doesn't look like a death, does it? That looks like... Oh no, that's two there. Okay, no, let's go back, because I want to die. Let's go back and see what happens if we just wait there. Or if we go down. Let's go down immediately. I can't back down knowing exactly where our enemy is. And it's not just Vlov down there. Arcuied is there too, fighting him at this very moment. I promised I'd fight at her side. It'll be alright. After all, it's not my job to fight this battle. I just need to deliver the finishing blow. Once she's got him pinned down, I'll get in and cut through his lines. But in order to do that...
そうだ。おじけついてる場合か。
Oh, buddy just jumped? Oh boy. It'd be so funny if he just falls and breaks his legs. Oh no, he skid down the rubble slope. He did that Mario Z button and slid. Yeah, you're safe. You can fall from heights with that. I skid down the rubble slope until I hit the ground at the bottom of the crater. I quickly covered my nose and mouth with my hand. It was pure reflex, a survival instinct that triggered in response to the searing atmosphere around me. Oh, I can't breathe. Sure, there's plenty of oxygen. I learned from our time at the hotel that these flames are some type of curse. They don't undergo combustion the way a real flame would. The problem is the heat. The air is so hot that taking a normal breath would roast my lungs to a crisp. Both vampires are before me. A perfect contrast, one clad in white, and the other in his black cloak. Claw and cleaver meet. Cleaver meet. Time and time again. Despite the heat, Arcuied doesn't break a sweat as she continues to press back against Vlov. To me, it looks like Arcuied has the upper hand. It won't be long now until she manages to restrain him. There's just one problem. That is how long I'll last, since my body is already ablaze. Strangely enough, I don't feel any pain. Even without my breathing, I've got a grasp of the situation. I grip my knife tight, waiting for the moment I can take down Vlov. Like a sprinter waiting for his signal, or an unmoving specter. I wait, and wait, and wait. My eyeballs dry, sizzle, smoke, and turn to ashes. But I still wait. The woman never comes, and neither does the realization that I've long since burned to ashes. That was a much quicker death than I expected. I seriously thought we'd have to read through that entire other part and like see all that again, and it'd be like, no, he just jumps down and dies. Yeah, 4, good. We're good. We're making him on time. Yes, please teach me.
おっとデッドエンド
Oh, what did we do?
そこの遠野くんスピード違反で歩道ですなんで嬉しそうなんだよこのシエルバーベキューになってる主人公もいるんですよ失礼いよいよ本格的なバトルが始まったのでつい興奮してしまって案内役のシエル教官こと私と部外者の猫でお届けする Q&A コーナー
Those are cute glasses.
教えてシエル先生にようこそプレイによってはここが初めてのデッドエンドかもしれません
Nope.
それくらいなんていうか自然に選んでしまいますからでも落ち着いてよく状況を確かめましょう人間は炎の中では生きられないのです
It's true.
まあ猫的にこのデッドエンドは評価するけどにゃ
Why?
だって目の前で絶世の美女が戦ってるんだぜ一体誰が冷静になれようか
Oh no.
ここで一句家中の栗がピクニックウェルカムウェルカムウェルダン
Sure.
どうですかなむやみに食欲をそそりますかなマドモアゼいえ全然意味がわからないのでまあお肉は片焼き派ですけど
Oh, yo based? I love this shot of Nekowark just on fire. The barbecue noises. I'm going to give it a little bit more time. And I will save that for later.
あれそうにゃのちょっと意外 フランス人なのに血の滴るステーキはダメ？
Wow, spoilers that she's French with a name like CL. Yeah, no, crispy, like getting it to have that nice char on the outside. Ooh, yo, if your meat has bark by the time you're done, that's when you know you've done it right.
ビーフカレーのお肉は柔らかいものが至高ですが、生焼けはちょっと生理的に。
Oh yeah, no, if you're uncooked, yeah.
レアというか、池作りを好むのは多分秋葉さんではないでしょう
Ooh,
か。
what is that? I've never heard of that. I'm curious. That is, let's Google that. I'm curious. Ikkezukuri. What is that? I spelled it wrong. What is this? Ooh, I don't like that. Ikizukuri is prepared alive seafood, like sushi, is preparing of sashimi from live seafood. This popular sea animal used as fish, octopus, shrimp, and lobster may be used. It's controversial because of concerns the animal's suffering as it is served. It is alive when served. What the frick? I've never heard of this. So literally, they bring it to you alive. What the frick? The restaurant may have one of several tanks of live sea animals for a customer to choose from. There are different styles in which the chef may serve the dish, but the most common way is to serve it on a plate with filleted meat assembled on top of the body. Literally, it shows the whole body with the meat on top. How do I say this? It's spelled differently on Wikipedia here. Ikizukuri, whatever, or Ikizukiri has different names. May be prepared with only 3 knife cuts by the chef. They're usually presented with the head still whole so the customer can still see the continuing gill movements. Fun fact, it's outlawed in Australia and Germany, but it is explicitly still allowed in Canada. Nope. I refuse to eat food if I still see the head. And this not only has the head, it has the body moving still. That's messed up. Akiha would like that. You're right.
ほら、日本の方って生きた魚を調理して刺身にするんでしょ？信じられないことに。
I'm actually surprised that you're explaining it, but
バッカ、魚は新鮮なほどねっつの。
yeah, I don't know about that.
嘘だと思うにゃら、今度回らない寿司おごられてやんよ。カレーとかお好きでしょ？オタク。
Wait, is that a pun? Okay, wait. I think this might be a pun. I want to try and work with that because it sounded like it was. Okay, so I'm gonna go Japanese translator because it sounded like to me flounder, the type of fish. Hirame? Okay. That didn't actually sound like what I was thinking it was. Yeah, okay, wait, maybe not. No. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, flounder, flatfish, turbot, or sole is pronounced kare, which sounds like curry. Oh, dabs. It's also dabs, yeah. Okay. So that's a joke because flounder, curry.
それは私も毎日同じメニューを食べているわけではありませんし。
Oh, this wasn't this joke wasn't fully translated.
たまにはシーフードもありですね。完全に食い違っている。まあいや、続けて。夕食はその後にな。そうですね。今は授業の最中でした。
Oh, right, yeah. I'm also in the middle of a fight.
とにかく吸血鬼同士の戦いは危険ですので、遠くから冷静に見届けましょう。大丈夫。遠野くんの出番はきっとあります。その時まで体力を温存しておいてくださいね。はい、お仕事おしまい。ではメシアに直行です。
That's the curry restaurant.
シーフードカレーという選択。ほらに
The clap off is funny. Okay, so that was that. So now again, I'm trying to die. So my wait, where's it gonna put me? Okay, good. So my next choice is I'm going to continue to watch the fight. I'm going to let them fight more. I can only keep watching the fight. It's hard to describe the nausea I feel as bile rises to my throat, nor the indescribably cold chill that runs past my spine. It's fine. I couldn't have made it in time anyway, not from here. All I can do, all I should do, is stay here and watch quietly as the battle unfolds. Oh, dang! Oh, dang! Arcuied pierces his chest. Blood spurts from the wound. It flows quick and free like a bottle uncorked. At last, the scorching nightmare is brought to an end. Vlov is pushed past the final threshold. A terrible sound fills the air. Ooh. It rends time and space as the vampire reveals its true form. The atmosphere crackles and sparks. The atoms that were accelerated by the heat suddenly decelerate at an unnatural pace. Electrons bounce off the ultra-cold matter with nowhere to go, react with the atmosphere. The blue flames that covered the ground around him were never really flames at all. They were an exothermic reaction akin to vaporization, the very earth rapidly losing heat. Dang, now you're just proper speaking Japanese. He extends one of his cold-blooded arms. His fingers are spread wide, palm open as if craving warmth. The beautiful huntress is enveloped in blinding light. Dang, that move sucks. That move sucks in Melty. It wasn't just the temperature that dropped. The world itself underwent a drastic change. A torrent of ice blows Arcuied away and engulfs the city beyond. Everything is frozen, from the ground in the pit below to the roofs of the skyscrapers, all in a flash. I wonder if anyone was left in those buildings, if there were people who still hadn't been evacuated, and the sheer cold would have robbed them of their heat and killed them in an instant. A shiver runs down my back at the sight before me. I'm afraid to think of what might follow this. My stupid luck that I'm even alive now. Had I been behind Arcuied or on the other side of the crater, I would have been frozen alive. The river of flames could cover a wide area, but it also spread slowly. Most people will be able to outrun those flames if needed. But this river of frost is something else. It might have a narrow range and follow a set path along the ground, but once it's fired, it spells instant death. If he manages to escape above ground, he'll slaughter the whole town.
Arcuied.
I desperately cling to the hope that she's still alive. She's the only one who can stop this monster. I spot her in the middle of the glacial river. Thank God for Arcuied being tough as nails. It looks like that blast of ice didn't even dent her.
そういうこと。あなたは正気がないんじゃなくて、正気から逃げていたのね。三流の使徒であれ、原理を持つ以上は星を打倒し得る。
We still don't know what a principle is.
おかげで目が覚めたわ。ブローブ・アルハンゲリ。
Arcuied stands untouched at the center of the glacier. Vlov's gaze is as cold as the ice that surrounds him. His eyes are no longer filled with the same pain and agony as before. They're the eyes of a hunter now, stalking his prey on the snowy tundra.
目を覚ましたのはこちらの話だ。よくも俺からここまで熱を奪ってくれた。
The hatred on his tongue cuts the air like a knife. He hasn't lost the will to fight, If anything, this is the first time I've actually seen him this motivated to battle.
そうなら己の幸運を感じなさいブローブ。本来なら目を覚ます前に終わらせていたわ。あなたを救ったのは憎たらしい殺人鬼よ。まあそれも今一時の話だけど。
確かに伝え聞いた貴様の姿と今の貴様か。どうやらここ一番で俺は幸運を拾ったか。
忌々しいけどそういうことよ。お互い最後の一撃を残しているだけの低たらく。どちらかが仕掛ければどちらかが消えるだけ。その前に最低限の礼は取ってあげる。答えよ、賠償家畜の我が霊尊。
Whoa.
その証、根の病巣、大臼のごときその穴。
Lesion on the root. Whoa.
新たな原理をはらんだ種よ。貴様にとって血とは何よ。
Arcuied sounds oddly dire, even considering the situation. Her question sounds like she's condemning him. Even Vlov looks like he was taken by surprise.
慎んで答えよう。俺にとって血液とは生命の熱さ。我が凍傷を癒す霊薬。我が世界。我が原理を回すもの。
When they say principle, do they literally mean like your principles? Like what you value?
しかり血液がなければ俺はこの寒さに凍りつく。
His tone belies an honest reverence as he clarifies his true nature.
思い出した。人間を嫌い、恐れ、避けようと絶海を漂流し、城を構えた変わり者。27祖の一人、ゼリア・アッヘンバウム。
All right. Part of me wants to Google to see if they were a. You know what? I know what I'll do. I'm going to pull up the list of the 27. Let's go 27 dead apostle ancestors. And I'm just going to look here to see if they are one that was in the original. Okay. So let's see here. Was Zarya in the original? Let's see here. No. Zarya was not named in the original. Yeah. Because there's number 12 was taken by the church. So we don't know. Number 19 also gone. 22, 23. So there's a bunch there's a bunch of spots where they might not be. So maybe not. Right? It could be one of them, but I've never heard of this character then.
1000年を超える原理を持ちながら、子を作らずに領地を治めていたと聞いたけど。
Okay, no, principle is a...
そう。
It's a thing. Okay.
つまり、殺して奪ったのね。
Wrong button. Okay, I was waiting.
そうだ。俺は後継者ではない。ただの騎士だ。騎士だった。
Huh.
永遠など
It
俺に
wasn't
は
meant
手
to be
に
a
余るもの。
successor. Interesting. The vampire beckons towards his shadow with his right hand. What? Out of his unnaturally stretched umbra emerges a strange and massive weapon. What is this? I don't remember him having this in Melty.
ご当主にとってもそれはより不相。
Maybe he does for like a move or two and I just don't remember it at all.
故に奪った。騎士として王を倒し、その王座を簒奪した。
Is a principle like a weapon? God, I want to know.
そう。短い王位だったわね。
I'm sure we'll learn.
強気だな。空想具現化もできぬほどよ。
Oh, she's too weak to do her marble phantasm right now.
俺と正
Okay.
面から撃ち合うと。
いらない。たかだか死と相手に世界と同化する必要もない。
Sorry, you can assimilate with nature? What does that mean? What does that mean? That's not a thing you could do before.
あなた程度この爪だけで十分よ。
The corner of his lips curve into a smile. His gallant features twist into that of a hideous beast. Okay, so I'm starting to think that now we would have, whoops. Okay, whoops. I'm starting to think that now if we stayed up there, or no, if we jumped down, we would have died there. It's a wry smile as if to confirm, stop that. It's fine. You read it.
貴様はまさにそれだ。そこまで衰退していながらまだ俺を上回る余力がある。あらゆる呪い、あらゆる状況に対応する原初の位置。波の使徒ではかなうまい。
The air distorts. His twisted desires spur the blue haze to lower the temperature even further. But Arcuied doesn't hesitate. She's fully aware that a direct hit from Vlov's strange lance could be the end of her, yet she still charges head on. Then, I gotta say, Takeuchi's straight-on faces are kind of hilarious.
かの領土はこの星の一部でありながら、いかに真祖の姫であろうと、この地獄に耐えきれるか。
Whoa, okay. A flurry of ice-cold gusts spreads outwards from Vlov. Arcuied comes to an abrupt halt and throws up her hands in front of her as if to protect herself. The wind screeches as it blankets the surroundings and temperatures approaching absolute zero. Then... oh, boy! The giant, otherworldly spear shatters Arcuied's pure white dress. Oh, it was just on top of her clothes. Okay. The blast kicks up a snowstorm that blocks my vision. My breath turns white as the air around me cools. Ooh, she's not looking too good. And they scuffed up her boots. The blizzard clears, revealing Arcuied crumpled on the rubble a few dozen meters from Vlov. Nothing remains of her fireproof dress. Not that she necessarily needs it anymore. She's gone back to her original form. It hides in his shadow? That's kind of cool. God, I want to know what that spear's about. If only I had an art book full of information about it. Arcuied lies dead still. But Vlov doesn't approach her. Instead, he raises his hand as if signaling something. Sorry, do you have ice zombies now? Great. The debris surrounding Arcuied creaks and crumbles. Beneath the rubble, the clawed hands of zombies scratch and groan as they crawl out of the dirt. You mean you want her melty blood? At Vlov's command, the zombies head to where Arcuied lies motionless. That's a gross zombino. I don't like the eyes. It's over. Our plan failed. There won't be another chance to chain up Vlov. Arcuied is gone, and the city is wrapped in grim cold. Everyone is as good as dead. What I see before me now are the final moments before the world as I know it ends. Wait, dead end? Wait, no? Anime? No. The cold feels like razor blades on my skin. My body temperature is dropping rapidly. Oh my god, it's this song. Oh my god, it's this song. Even living is a challenge in this extreme weather. My brain's gears grind as the pressure in my skull rises. I claw at my chest, feeling like my heart might explode any moment now. I give myself 2 minutes at best. The horde of zombies is closing in on Arcuied. Despite the freezing cold, the scene reminds me of Midsummer. Like the movie? What? They're like a file of ants marching towards some spilled sugar under the scorching sun. They'll kill her. They'll tear her limb from limb, just like I did. Just like you did once. That's Nanaya in my noggin, huh? Yet I stand here watching it all unfold from the safety of this ledge. At this rate, they'll... At this rate? The thing is a natural disaster in the guise of a human. We never should have gone after him. It was the height of arrogance to think we could defeat him. What was I thinking? That we could stop him from killing more people? That we could solve this without any more casualties? What a joke. We never should have confronted him. If we'd just let this whole disaster blow over like a typhoon, at least he might have stopped it burning the city to the ground. They couldn't do anything. You chose to do nothing. They had nothing to fight back with. You have a weapon. Pressure builds against my skull. Thoughts turn to disarray as common sense wrestles with delusion. My consciousness turns to flee. I make no move to stop it. There's nothing I can do. No way I can fight, but she... I've done enough. Any more is insane. But she... I should run while I can. Just turn away like a normal person, but she'll die. I stare up at the sky. Tall, frozen buildings invade my view. The people inside must have died in an instant. No chance to even manage a scream. Unlike what happened at the hotel, the pleading screams of the people there still haunt me even now. I look over at the fallen woman. The corpses inch closer and closer to her, moaning and drooling. Even now, the river of ice continues to expand, all while the vampire watches over his dominion of death with absolute indifference. Frick, what an image. My head splits from the pain. At this low temperature, my heart has to squeeze and contract with everything it's got to keep my blood flowing. Everything points to just one conclusion. Every trickle of fear that sinks to the pit of my stomach churns and turns, coagulating into a mass of fury. I may be defected, a laughingstock, stupid and naive, because despite all that, I still can't bear to stand by and watch this happen. I remove my glasses. I cover my mouth with my left hand to stop what remains of my precious body heat from escaping through my breath. I've got maybe 3 minutes. It's all the time I'll have until the fire within me burns out. It's not that this song. It's not that I lack motivation. That's just a realistic assessment of how long a human can survive down in that pit. No, stop with the autoplay. I don't want to do that. I scold myself as I slide down the slope. This is crazy. I'm crazy. This is all so crazy. Run away if you want to live? No, it's the opposite. If I really want to live, I need to go in. This monster cannot be allowed to exist. This monster cannot be allowed to roam free. If I run away, I'll die. If I run away, the entire city will perish with me. So it's clear what I have to do now. If I want to live, I need to kill. If I'm going to survive, I need to charge. I have to kill him right here and right now, as fast as I can. My patience for this creature has already run thin. It dares to kill, steal, and live on without remorse or repercussion. I cannot allow it to live. Not as a human, not as a fellow living creature. As long as this thing lives, it will be my prey. I will tear out its life force by the root. I run towards Arcuied. The zombies are all about to press their teeth into her tender flesh. I remember the question she asked me earlier. Can I actually bring myself to kill? Whether they're truly human or not, can I kill something that looks so human? Doesn't matter now. My head simply aches. I've never gone without my glasses for this long. I've never been this objective in my thinking. In my frenzied state, I made a quick note of where each death line is on their bodies. Then, I commit to memory each of my undead targets. Hands off her, you eyesores. The dead shouldn't dare to prey on the living. Besides, she's my prey. Mine alone. I cut through lines on 3 of the zombies like they were butter. Each neatly splits into 3 pieces and drops to the ground, dead. It was almost too easy. With their attention focused on Arcuied, they were completely defenseless. I make no attempt to touch her. I just call out to her as I kill the 4th. Roused by my voice, Arcuied opens her eyes in a daze. I'm going to cut the cold. She pushes herself off the ground, but the toll is evident from her face and posture. She's come to. She's alive, though her wounds haven't healed. It looks like Arcuied won't be able to move anytime soon. She's the one who ought to be running away, not me. Unfortunately, I don't exactly have it in me to get her to safety.
援護ってあなた一人でやる気っていうか正気
正気でこんな真似できるかいいか俺にとってここは海の底だ3分しか時間はないだからその間に
Yeah, maybe less time talking because that's expelling the hot air.
今度こそ俺とお前で
I mean, I get it, you gotta share the plan, but... Knife in hand, I dash ahead, leaving Arcuied behind. I look over to Vlov, quickly calculating the distance between the 2 of us. About 40 meters. 6 seconds before I reach him. He still hasn't noticed me yet. 3 more seconds. I can't waste any more time observing him. I've got to end this with one final blow. My body is already suffering for hypothermia. I've got 3 more minutes until my mind and body shut down entirely. But I have at most 1 minute before my body starts to falter. I can no longer move freely. That's plenty, though. I can already see the lines that'll let me kill him where he stands. He finally reacts. He shifts his gaze towards me, with all the disinterest of a man about to wave off a bug. The gigantic lance he used to skewer Arcuied is gone too, which makes sense. I'd be worried if it wasn't. In Vlov's eyes, I'm nothing. Might as well be one of his useless zombified minions. He sees me as no more than Arcuied's incompetent bodyguard. Why stain his spear when he could just as easily crush this insignificant human under his boot? That gives us one chance. All I can do is catch him by surprise. He's already spotted me, so getting him from behind is no longer an option. That doesn't mean a surprise attack is out of the question. He doesn't know about my eyes. He'd never fathomed that a mere human could possess the power to kill an immortal vampire with a single strike. 2 seconds. It's my only chance. My one shot to cross the boundary between life and death. Focus. All I need to do is dodge his first move. As long as I can do that, then my gamble will pay off, and I'll be able to cut through his lines. 1 second before I reach him. Just as I'm about to get within slashing distance, we both jump back from one another at the same time. We've never gotten within each other's reach. 2 factors brought us here. First, I made a misstep. The cold air concentrated around him prevents me from getting near. The closer I get, the duller my body and mind become. At the speed I was going, I'd have lost consciousness as soon as I was within 2 meters of him. One more step and it would have been over for me. I've lost the element of surprise. It just isn't possible to sneak up on Vlov and kill him. But I can live with that. Failing the ambush was something I'd accounted for. There's one other problem, though. A problem far more deadly. That bastard. My rage throbs behind my temples, mixing with the headache from going without glasses for so long. I still can't believe it. He somehow managed to read me. He must have some kind of intuition, a primal instinct to survive that will put any wild animal to shame, or maybe mystic eyes of future sight, those also exist. He should have had no reason to fear me, but he somehow sensed that I have some method of killing him. In that perilous instant, he recognized me as a threat, leaping away without another moment's thought. I jumped back around 2 meters, but his retreat was on another level. He had to have pulled off a full 30 meters back. Dang. We call that a Korean backdash. I suppose 30 meters might be the minimum safe distance for a vampire. It's almost hilarious just about how different a scale we operate on. He took the words right out of my mouth. My luck has quickly gone down the drain. He'll never let me close this gap between us again. I've recognized that I won't be able to take him down, whereas he's figured out that I possess a way to kill him. From here on out, it'll be... Bro's going to start zoning. A long-distance massacre. Oh no, not those! I hate those. I hate fighting Vlov. The cold air condenses, forming icy objects in midair. They're sharper spears, and like bullets they fly, targeting my skull. Do I dodge or do I try to take them? Should I waste my weapon here, or continue to conceal it? The decision is made on instinct. Yeah, I mean, he's probably already seen the zombies that you cut up, dude. The headache wrings my brain like a wet towel. My eyes hone in on the instrument of death like the focus being adjusted on a camera. If I cut the lines, these spears of ice, their inertia, the very bonds they hold that hold them together, will be killed right in front of me. Death takes aim at my temples. I align my knife with the projectiles. Humans were once feral beasts too. We're still hosts of the acute reflexes and instincts we had during that bygone time. As long as I'm free to move my body as I wish, these icicles are no deadlier than a pea shooter. However, I've used up my only shot at a surprise attack. His eyes tell me everything I need to know. He saw what I did just now. He doesn't have to understand how I did it, but I'll never get close enough again for him to do it. I've lost my only avenue to victory. Should I really have shown him my trump card so soon? No, I shouldn't have. It's not like I had any other choice. I had to play my best hand in order to survive. I'll just have to find something that can make up for it. I limit myself to only the most necessary movements, and if I can't get close to him, I should at least try to conserve my energy. There's only 2 minutes left till I hit my limit. My fears cast out by excitement. Caught in a battle for survival, my perspective on life and death gets turned upside down. There's a brief lull in the onslaught of icicles. He hones the waves of cold air into singular points, creating a maelstrom of ice. The frozen javelins are launched in my direction, as if from a trap thrower. I slice through each of his icy bullets. With Arcuied behind me, I've got no other choice but to cut down every projectile he throws our way. It takes about 1.5 seconds for his frozen spears to close the distance between us. Dang, that's some awful frame data. As long as I'm able to move my body, I can continue fending off his assault. But in the meantime, I need to come up with a plan. Vlov hasn't moved an inch. That looks so sick. Why? There's no reason for him to hold back now that he recognizes I'm a threat, which leaves me a hypothesis. He's frozen in place not because he thinks he can finish me off from afar, but because he can't move when he's in that state. Arcuied has cornered him already, leaving him without blood to fuel him. This freezing aura that surrounds him is more like the final defense mechanism of a monster on the verge of death. It's a wild theory, but it's one that fits the present situation. Trapped and unable to move, Vlov desperately throws accursed icicles every which way in order to cling to life. It's wild how they accurately made this into a gameplay style right in Type Lumina. In the end, it doesn't matter if he runs hot or cold. All creatures ultimately perish when in his proximity. If I were within 10 meters of him, I'd freeze to death in 2 seconds. If I'm gonna collapse in no time. I'll meet my end like a lost traveler on a snowing mountain, doomed to drift off to sleep and never wake up again. When a human's body exceeds 43 degrees or drops below 34, brain cells start to shut down. But I can't lose myself in the details. I have to look at the broader picture. I cannot let my thoughts distract me. My duty is to slice my knife through whatever comes my way the second I see it. I do have to revise some of my earlier assumptions. Yes, the cold he emanates spreads out in all directions, but after a closer look, I'm not certain the density is uniform all the way around. The ground seems coldest. That must mean the temperature disparities in the air around him. There are temperature disparities, okay. If he has a weak point, that's where I'll find it. His blizzard may act as an all-encompassing barrier, but that doesn't make it impenetrable from every angle.
死の淵で主を守るか。勇ましいが限界だ。
Vlov draws the lance he used against Arcuied from the shadows once more. As he does, a large tree of ice crystallizes in the air behind him, its branches extending in all directions. Whoa! You say tree of ice, I say icicle. Oh frick!
では、数で押すぞ!
He's popping the Gilgamesh. That's sick. His attack interrupts my analysis. I focus again on intercepting his projectiles. There's no way I can kill all these icicles this time. I'll have to take a hit. No, I can't let that happen. It's too soon to give up. I can't afford to take the slightest graze. Bleeding here would be death. The unforgiving cold would strip me of life before the minute was out. So I have no option but to kill. One way or another, I must. I reboot my consciousness and see the lines. Only the lines. One by one, I take note of my prey. 26 in all. I devise my plan, plot where to move, where to slice and kill, and where to dodge. At the center of it all, I see it. That which far transcends all of the lines of death surrounding it. A perfect point from where the lines are born. The place where death converges. The wall of death closes in on me. But just now I saw it, a glimmer. Just as I'm gonna die here, so too does the possibility exist of him dying. Bro's hitting that quarter circle forward with the Nanaya mode where you just go the slashes, the rapid slashes. But I've already reached my limits. Shiki Tono is out of ways to ensure his survival. The icicles rip through the flesh of my left thigh and the right side of my abdomen. Precious heat is robbed from my extremities. My ligaments scream as each sudden stop chews away my muscle fibers. The cells within are instantly destroyed by the ultra-cold temperature. My fingers grow numb. I can barely move my limbs. This is it. The chance at victory slipping out of sight. Whether he finishes me off or not, I'll be dead within a minute. If Vlov or Arcuied or anyone else were watching me now, they think the same, I'm sure of it. But no one believes it more than me. So then why? It must be some primal animal instinct. Why is it that you're smiling during all this? Oh? An icicle strikes Arcuied in the face. Frick. Forgot to account for Arcuid's position behind me. That's a fair one. It looks like I had only managed to graze her, but she still has one hand over her face, rubbing the spot where she was struck. What kind of person takes a hit like that to the face and comes out with barely a scratch? I'm reminded once more of just what a monster Arcuied is. She buries one hand into the ground and pulls out a massive slab of earth as easily as someone might dig through sand with a shovel. Then, as if to rebuke Vlov for the pain he caused her, she flings the rock in his direction. So she kind of does that in FGO. She uses the ivy, though, to take it out and whips it around. It's awesome. But he demolishes it just as easily with his lance. There's still not a scratch on him. It makes sense that he wouldn't be killed by rudimentary weapons. And yet, after seeing Arcuied's counterattack, it's like the final piece of the puzzle has fallen into place. Finally, I've got something I can work with. I can kill him with one blow. But to do that, I'll have to strike him before my body shuts down from the cold. How, though? My legs won't carry me the distance they need to in a span of 2 seconds. I need something faster. To maximize my chances, I better approach him from an angle where the cold is the thinnest, but I can't use my legs to do that. I've got no other options. At this rate, I'll die anyway. It's no longer a question of if I can do it, but how. Brace yourself. There's only one way to get close enough, and that's by... What the frick are these options? Oh my god. Well, we'll go back to the other one to die later. Taking flight? Oh my god. Hold up. Are we going to throw the knife into him? Shut up. Throwing. Or more accurately, turning me into a human cannonball. Oh, I thought you meant throwing the knife. The vampire may be on guard now, but I still remain an all too deadly weapon to him. That just leaves the question of how I'll launch myself in his direction. A question with a simple answer. If my legs won't carry me there, I'll just need to depend on some outside help. We are going to fastball special into him. I'll quickly run for Arcuied. I hear the sharp noise of ice shattering behind me. It seems the claws of wind she generates can pinpoint targets even from this far. Grouping up together like this makes us very easy game for Vlov. I'm well aware of this fact. To be precise, I wanted her to throw me with that. That chunk of rock she threw earlier must be nearly 3 meters across. If she could do the same with me on it, that would be way faster than I could run. No, shut up. Whoa, what? Oh my god. Though Arcuied hesitates, this is our only option. I'll have her tie me to a piece of rubble big enough to hide behind and throw me towards Vlov. Of course, he'll strike down whatever is thrown his way, which is why Arcuied will hurl 3 boulders. The first one will fly straight for Vlov. The next will deliberately miss Vlov and aim for his rear. And the last one will target Vlov once more. Naturally, I'll be hiding behind the second, the one that'll skirt around him. Then just before it hits the ground, I'll cut through the lines on its surface and appear behind Vlov in under 2 seconds flat. This plan is so stupid I love it. Yes. That's fine. The icicles only grow in number and ferocity. We don't have any more time to waste.
ああ、あいつの横を通り過ぎるくらいでいい。
I get behind Arcuied. There I find a nice large piece of debris to hide behind. I press my hands and feet against the rock as if doing a push-up. Green ivy forms from Arcuid's fingertips, tying me down against the stone. The vines wrap around my thighs, and soon both my legs and left hand are pinned to the stone. The only limb with a measure of freedom is my right hand, which is holding the knife.
ブローブまで50メートル。さっきのがあんな感じだったか。
Arcuied extends both hands, lifting both the regular rebel and the rock I'm hiding behind into the air.
4秒我慢して。
This is so stupid, it's awesome. The stones flying through the air must weigh a ton each. 3 more seconds. As if stubbornly defying all laws of air resistance, the first piece soars directly for Vlov's head. Just before it can find its target, the rock is caught by Vlov's lance and splintered into pieces. But that's not to say it was completely ineffective. Some of the scattered fragments managed to hit Vlov's body. The damage they caused might not be significant, but it'll be enough to briefly draw his attention. Capitalizing on the moment, my rock sails past his right side. I dismantle the rock. It immediately becomes inert, ignoring all laws of momentum. My limbs are free to move now. They find purchase on land and I stick to the ground much like a lizard does to the wall. In that instant, both my body and blood begin to freeze. I can see his back now. Just 4 meters. It'll be tight but not impossible. Vlov shatters Arcuid's third boulder. 1 second down, 1 meter to go. Just 2 more steps, and I'll be within stabbing range of the lines that will end his life. But... oh! It's impossible for a human to take those final 2 steps. Ooh! I can't scream, nor can I feel any pain. I'm frozen from head to toe. Did he realize I was coming? Or was it simply out of reflex? Countless thorns of ice spring up around Vlov and to intercept my advance. He sounds disappointed. Safe? Alright, safe. I was too concerned over finding a way to stay alive. Arcuied was worried about my safety, and because of that, she threw my rock just a little bit slower than the other 2. I'm such an idiot, I really fucked up. You can't even call it a surprise attack when it's so transparent. Luckily, I don't have to wait to bleed to death. Between Vlov's cowl of cold and my own bitter disappointment, my heart has already stopped beating. Dang. Dang. How many dead ends have we missed so far? Is this going to be like 7? What are we at? 5? Oh, wait, we haven't missed one. What? Okay. Or maybe it'll just be the same for a bunch of things here. I mean, I'm not actually mad because we want to see these, so.
どこにしまったかにゃ。必要なのは何だったかにゃ。いつかどこかでポチったんだけどにゃ。間違えて3つくらい同じの買ったんだけどにゃ。
What did you buy?
まあいいや。いらないものは全部バイ。にゃはは。捨てろ捨てろ。
Oh. Mary Kondo is canon. Also, that looks like a little Taiga plush, but like a dark one. And those cubes look like they're straight out of FGO. Oh, hey. Oh. Calm down. Oh. Oh no. Sew him up, and he will be unique now.
そうがにゃ。何やら運命を感じさせるシンクロニシティ。これはもしや主人公はかっこよく射出されて飛び散る。まさか。 いくら遠野くんでもそんな無謀な作戦は
It was a crazy plan. I thought he would throw the
出てま
knife.
すね。大胆というか命知らずというかなっちまえばいいんだよミサイルに。その息は良かったんだけどにゃ。縦軸と横軸の問題をクリアできなかったのが敗因ですかな。ここの3択は全て無理めなプランですから難易度自体はどれも大差ないかもですね。すぐに直前の選択肢に戻ってもう一度これはと思う手段をお選びください。
See if any of them jump out at you. Okay.
ブローブ戦もいよいよクライマックス。戦いは常に頭上を取るものですよ。
Aim for the high ground. Okay. Okay. We'll see what the high ground is. Continue. Let's see. Taking flight? What does pulling mean? I don't know what pulling means, but let's try taking flight then. Sounds like high ground. Taking flight. I suppose it'd be more accurate to say falling down. But can I actually pull it off? The whole thing would be down to luck. I'm already aware that there's no way I'd come out of this venture unscathed. For one, the impact of landing alone would break my bones and turn my muscles to pulp. Will you be able to bear such agony? I narrowly sliced through the projectiles as if I were cutting through my own hesitation. Those were a little too close for comfort, but I ought to thank him. The last shot has opened my eyes. I just need to take whatever pain that comes my way. I've never been particularly susceptible to the sting of death to begin with. From now on, I'll tune every last thought to the prospect of killing. I've no doubt Vlov is already doing the same. I turn around and run toward Arcuied, though doing so depletes me of my last reserves of energy. I couldn't take one more step if I tried. My enemy is 50 meters away from me, but that's fine. Horizontal distance doesn't matter here.
Arcuied! さっきのあれもう一回できるか。
あれって何？
I quickly explained my plan to her. It's a short explanation. She views me with total bewilderment, but something about my expression must have convinced her.
その規模でやると私の余力もなくなるわ。それでもいいのね。もう逃げることもできないわよ。
I nod, indicating I've accepted the consequences. I don't even have the energy to talk, and I'm honestly shocked Arcuied was still considering the possibility of escape.
でもそれって式は途中で落っこちない？私そのあたり加減できないよ。
そりゃ落ちるに決まってるだろ。だから
Even though I was supposed to catch my breath, I can't help but yell before getting to my plan. Which is when? There's no time to explain. Vlov has already sent another merciless storm of spears our way.
いいから全力で手を抜かずやってくれ。やりすぎてもいい。お前に殺されるならそれはそれで本望だ。
Dang, what a way to get her to not hold back. We don't have time to dance around the issue. I take my eyes off Arcuied and focus on our enemy. Behind me, Arcuied perks up in response to my order.
任せて。私が指揮を勝たせてあげる。
Yo, okay, this must be the right one. Look at this image. I crouch down in front of Arcuied. There I press my knees and palms flat against the ground. An unseen arm runs beneath the surface. Arcuied unearths another slab of rock just like before. No, it's on a whole different scale this time. The entire terrain crumbles and shakes as she loosens a massive swath from the ground. That image, that look in her eyes. It's an explosion of soil, a veritable upheaval of the ground. The terrain splinters into countless pieces. If Vlov's cold is a blizzard, then Arcuied's is a tsunami made a tsunami of earth. Even Vlov's deathly icicles are but droplets splashing against a tidal wave. Soon the 50-meter high wall of earth will crash into him with a full force of 7,000 tons. Yet the knight doesn't flinch in the face of the looming calamity. He pierces through the wave of gravel with a thrust of his steel lance. Between the falling debris, he must have noticed that Arcuied, having used the last of his strength to pry apart the bedrock, was now on her knees, and that the imminent threat was nowhere to be seen among the earth and sand. Staring down the towering wave, his instincts returned to him. To be precise, they had returned 2 minutes prior, when a lone human forced him into retreat. That which he had thought was forever lost due to the cold was rekindled, and found himself regaining a semblance of his sanity. Oh my god. That face. This human has the means to kill me. I know not how, only that he does. The lingering instinct of a man once whole. The intuition of a warrior honed and tempered during the Dark Ages suddenly broke free of the curse plaguing his body. Oh, he's old. The deep-seated pride of a knight, built up over a mere 2 decades, had won over the madness of a millennium. He understands all too well that this is nothing short of a miracle, but such things are fleeting. This delusion of the mind will end once he kills the human. He'll regress to being a dream of the dead, never to see the light of day again. In a matter of moments, the human joy he finds in the thrill of the fight will be buried by a haze of frost. But that's why he intends to relish the development. He understands the enemy's intention. He'll mask his approach using the debris as cover. He's seen the human's weapon. He knows it can cut through things. Surely the human will use this wall of dirt as a door, burst through it and encroach on his territory. He readies his lance. The wall of dirt towers before him. Under normal circumstances, he would shatter the wall and his concealed foe with it. There's no need for him to adapt to the enemy's tactics. His preferred method of warfare has always been to offer no quarter and crush all resistance. He still has plenty of energy remaining, 10 people's worth of the finest blood. Yet the vampire remains obstinate.
それはできない。この魂を消費することだけは決して。
Whoa. It is his warmth. In order to burn, he will preserve this blood for all eternity. He does not mean to make light of the human. He has already realized that the foe he faces is an outlier. He is more than aware that if the human gets too close, it will be the end of him. But there are things even he is unwilling to relinquish. Fully aware of his own heedlessness, he thrusts his lance forward using 50% of his remaining power. The giant wave of debris breaks apart immediately on impact, but that only takes care of the rocks to his front. The blow ensured his immediate safety, but nothing more. He knows that it would do little to his foe. He knows the enemy will come for him. No matter the cost, he will come. Unfortunately, there are limits to the human body. There's no way of passing through this rain of debris. Even with the true ancestor princess on his side, some things are impossible. When the earthen waves break and the downpour ends, so will the life of the human. As long as he can find the boy, an ambush is impossible. Vlov opens his eyes. They're equipped to peer leagues into the distance. But he finds nothing. Not even a glimpse of a shadow creeping away. Could he have actually managed to kill him with that mighty blow? No. This foe would never die to something so simple. He chastises himself for thinking so highly of the enemy, yet a deathly cold chill runs down his spine. For a single second, he allowed his mind to drift from his foe. He knows that the enemy will come. Yet if he is nowhere to be seen, then the knight's premise must have been faulty from the start.
Michiko.
Yo, is that him on there? The vampire looks up at the sky. There he finds his enemy, illuminated by the moonlight. Yo! Shut up. The pale blue ghost lights of the mystic eyes of death perception bear down upon him. Oh my god. Arcueid's aim wasn't just to bury Vlov in debris. It was to lob this boulder into the air. The one I was strapped to, far out of the vampire's view, and more importantly, above the reach of his cold. 30 meters below me. The tidal wave of Earth is demolished by Vlov. What remains is just him, me, and the vast open air between us. I steel my nerves as I revisualize the outcome. If I manage to do this, Shiki Tono will lose both his legs. Even if I survive, I'll never walk again. The certainty crystallizes in my mind's eye. But I don't let that bother me. If I can brace long enough to survive the next 2 seconds, the result will be well worth it. It took him only a second to find me. While I admire his speed, it'll be 1 second too late.
あれ？でもそれって式は途中で落っこちない？私そのあたり加減できないよ。
そりゃ落ちるに決まってるだろ。だからお前が俺に道を作ってくれ。
Oh! That's not what I was expecting. What the frick? The floating rocks fall into place like puzzle pieces. A hastily constructed slide connected by ivy. We sit on the same coordinates with only the air between us. I calculated my chance of survival. Before I get started, I confirm my target. My route is plotted. A one-way path, 30 meters in 2 seconds.
Showdown. 吸血鬼。
Oh my god. Really? My descent begins. I plunge down the slide into the maw of death. I've given up on reacting. I can only make my decisions one at a time, 1 second at a time. During the 2 seconds leading up to my touchdown, I focus on 2 factors. Every decision I make could end in my death. When faced with such a scenario, I must concentrate on where my chance of dying are particularly high. I visualize every point that could lead to certain death. Only 2 such exist. Elsewhere, my chance of survival lie around 10%. I don't need to worry about those. 10% is more than enough. The problem lies with the ones where I have 0% chance. A scenario where I will die no matter how deftly I perform, no matter how careful I am. Which is why I must do whatever I can to raise those odds from 0 to 1%. I need to sharpen my senses if I'm to overcome these 2 obstacles of death. I don't have the luxury to allocate them anywhere else. As I drop down, I no longer have the capacity to plan for anything else either. What if I'm wrong and there are more than 2 points of certain death? Can't even fathom it. If there are, then it's already over for me. I don't have the strength to avoid 3 of them. It would just mean his power exceeds my wildest expectations. Icicles appear in the air beneath him, behind him rather, and shoot forth at me as if to smother their prey. They close in like the jaws of a beast. It's terrifying, but I'm beyond caring now. That fear amounts to nothing more than a base animal instinct. I had seen this coming from a mile away. It's a thing that I feared would kill me. 10 meters. I've passed through the first obstacle. Every last one of my nerves is on fire. My muscles are tuned to perfection. I rapidly twist and turn my torso. Even though it should be impossible for me to change the trajectory of my descent, I managed to somehow do it after calculating the angle of his weapon. The metallic object nearly skims the air beside me. My 0% gamble pays off, and I manage to avoid certain death. Only 1 second before I land, it's my victory. He's out of moves. Both obstacles are determined in the span of a second each. Now I have to kill him before my insides are pulverized by the impact of the fall. I don't care what'll happen to me afterwards. In this moment, all my focus is on piercing his line. But if he were to have one more move up his sleeve, something outside of my predictions... No. There's no time to think. No time to avoid it. Even if I could change my direct trajectory at this juncture, I wouldn't waste my time on it. The time for thinking is over. If I'm going to die, that was decided the second I started my descent. This is fine. If my brain is to be skewered by ice here, I doubt I'd even register it. Oh! The key! The second obstacle. The negative 100-degree temperature that defies the laws of nature and stops the human body in its tracks. My impulse to brace for a landing is to brace for a landing, and even my concerns for the sanctity of life are left behind in the skies above. Kinetic energy courses from my thighs through to my hips up to my back, and from there into my right hand as I swing my knife down. Now that the motion has been sent to action, there's no way of stopping it. I'm a killing machine fueled by inertia. All my brain needs is to locate the lines. At the center of it all, I see a light, a vortex of swirling atoms, the certainty of life's eventual end, a place of pure death that pulls everything inside like a black hole. My brain may have cast out all rational thought, but it still comprehends what it's seeing through sheer instinct. If the lines are what brings death to life, then this core brings death to the origin of its existence. The end of the universe, where any creature, be they monster or immortal, can be killed with a simple stab. Can't say I care much for this sudden revelation. My entire body trembles with emotions that run much deeper. Having used his lance already, Vlov unsheaths his machete. Realizing my aim, the vampire readies for another counterattack. It's his final move in this game against an underhanded opponent like myself. This man is the real deal, a shining example of his kind. I don't know or care where that bar is set for vampires, but he's a killer through and through. I can't help but despise him. When he was sane, before he was a vampire, I'm sure he was a knight worthy of envy. Even if not a shadow of that man remains. But he will never get the chance to bring his blade against me. I turn, dodge, then twist. My eyes trace his core. In an instant, the surrounding temperature returns to normal. The cold wave disappears along with its master's life force, but the man still remains upright at the center of it all. Dazed, the vampire speaks to himself.
この傷は知らない。この喪失は思い出せない。この言語化できない大気の肌触りはいつか失った何者かだ。
I don't know what he's saying. I don't even know what language he speaks. But his tone is gentle, like that of a poet extolling spring.
痛みも寒波も感じない。恐ろしいが懐かしい。これではまるで僕は死人になったようだ。
Oh, we are messed up. Yep. My body drops backwards on the ground, but my heart and lungs cry for joy as finally, at long last, I begin breathing normally once again. Can't move either arm. Can't even tell whether I'm still holding my knife. All I can be sure of is that this throbbing in my body and my rapidly fading consciousness. It's a blessing in disguise. My pain is overtaken by numbness. Feels like the bones in my left legs, which I landed on while falling, were carved with a saw. Normally the pain would have me seeing stars, but right now, can't feel a thing.
でもくそ
Miserable words pass my lips, even though I willed them not to. I don't get any joy from having survived. I don't even feel pride in having done some great feat. It wasn't a miracle. It was nothing. After all said and done, I just charged at him with every emotion I possessed. A solitary crescent moon sits high in the night sky. How odd. Feels familiar somehow, like I saw something just like it in a dream once.
大丈夫Shiki?
No. Body broke. Please apply goo. Arcuied strolls over as if nothing had happened.
まあ生きては
I feel more dead than alive, though. Even talking hurts like hell. But you're not going to hear me make a petty complaints while I'm still alive.
もうそんな謙遜しちゃって。
That's a really good piece.
新参とはいえ、Shikiはその一人を殺したのよ。もっと胸を張ってもいいのに。
Yeah, hurts to boast. Arcuied seems to be happy on my behalf. Even I know that killing Vlov was a significant accomplishment. And yet, it's not like I actually did anything. What did you say, buddy? Oh, well, it's because his ice already decimated the city. The body count would likely eclipse the massacre at the hotel by hundreds, if not thousands. It's all my fault. And let it happen again.
死んでないよ。
Sorry, what?
ブローブの呪いなら全部私が防いでおいたんだし。
What? Oh my god, you are so broken. No one died?
どういうことだそれって
Try to fling my body upright, but my left leg screams from the motion. I find myself still on the ground, wincing in pain.
ほらほら、ちゃんと横になってないと。
それより今の説明してくれ。死んでないって本当に
We'll just ignore the people who died in the hotel, I guess, because they still did.
ええ、ブローブの原理が暴走した時、できる範囲を対流膜でコーティングしておいたの。Shikiがブローブを殺すのがあとちょっと遅かったらフォローできなかっただろうけど。
We turned it into a convection oven. Good. Arcuied casually admits to having done something insanely overpowered. My mind flashes back to the fight. Arcuied had paused abruptly just before she was hit by his lance. Does this mean she didn't do that to protect herself, but to protect the entire city? Come to think of it, kinda strange I survived the initial blast device at all. Yet I was able to keep breathing even those Arctic conditions. Arcuied must have ensured the rest of town was able to do the same. Because of it, that happened. This entire time I was only thinking about myself. Meanwhile, she selflessly protected the city, even when she knew it would leave her at a disadvantage.
なんでそんなことを。お前人間なんかどうでもいいって言ってたじゃないか。
A strange wave of anger washes over me as I shout at the space case standing next to me. Arcuied raises her brow curiously.
だってShikiがそうしてほしいって言ったんだもん。
Aww. I said something that idiotic. Seriously? When? Where? Don't tell me she did it because...
なんかお前は別。だって血
Oh
を吸っ
my
たことないん
god.
だろ。ならいい。吸血鬼だろうとなんだろう
Oh,
と、俺たちに手を出さないでいてくれるならそれでいいんだ。
we changed her for the good. I can't believe it. As long as you don't lay a hand on humans. She followed that? Even though she might have lost her life in the process if anything had gone wrong? I laugh at the bizarre reality of it all. If anything, I'm more dumbfounded than ever. But more than that, I'm incredibly, incredibly grateful. Close my eyes. What she says is true, then I suppose it's fine for me to rest now. My chest, which had been filled with nothing but regret, is now overcome with relief. My consciousness starts to fade away. Forget all about the pain in my leg as I slip into a deep, dreamless slumber. At least I tried to. Oh, wait, what? But Arcuied hits me over the head with a loud thwack, forcefully pulling back my awareness back to the land of the living. Did you just hit me with a giant paper fan?
ダメ。そんな傷で眠っちゃったら起きてから余計苦しいでしょ。眠るのは傷を塞いでから。その方が効率的よ。
Yeah, but you don't have any goo. What are you gonna do? She's right about that. But who's the one who told her that in the first place? Which is apparently super not real.
アルクエイド、本気で忠告していいか？
何？
Oh my god, is he gonna admit to lying?
あのな、
Oh.
あんまり無茶言うな。このバカ女。
This is the end. With that, I burned through my very last reserves of strength. My consciousness is already in a distant place. I can hear Arcuied making some big fuss at the back of my mind, but I no longer have the energy to open my eyes.
ちょっとシキ、本当に眠っちゃうの？
Yeah, because I'm tired. Tired enough to drop dead right on the spot. I'll wake up again tomorrow, I promise.
本当に本当？それきっと痛いよ。治さなくていいの？起きたら間違いなく失神するよ。
You're so loud. I'm going to sleep, so you can do whatever you want.
そういうことなら早く言って
Oh
く
my
れれ
god,
ばよ
he's
かった
muttering
の
in
に。
his sleep. She sounds so bright and cheery. Her tender fingertips feel cool against my already ice-cold skin. It's nice, soothing. Delight replaces the fatigue inside me.
戦利品？っていうか、その死骸？
Oh, no, we are doing it.
まあいっか。ちょうどどこに捨てようか困ってたものがあったんだ。
Oh my god, we're actually doing it. What was that squelching noise?
何今の感触。うわ、いたたた。痛覚戻ってきてる。めっちゃ痛い。いや、かゆい。つか怖い。お前一体。
Just as I'm about to lay into her, I'm suddenly hit with a tremendous sense of emptiness. Perhaps my shouting burned through my last supply of fuel. This time I know I'll fall into an uncontestable slumber.
大丈夫。悪いものじゃないわ。そげた肉の分だけならこれで塞がるわ。
Thank God for the goo.
でも骨ばっかりはちょっと無理かな。後でちゃんと人間の医者にかかりなさい。
Oh no, not her. Her cold fingertips part from my skin.
眠っちゃった？シキ。
Yeah, I am. It's been a while since I've slept so soundly without a whiff of fear.
しょうがないな。シキの家って坂の上の屋敷でしょ？
Oh no.
なんとか送り届けてあげる。
Oh my god. Oh my god. In my sleep, I only see the white
お
moon.
疲れ様シキ。それとありがとう。今夜はあなたのおかげで助かっちゃった。
Her words of gratitude float above weightlessly. I can't hear her voice anymore. Finally, without anyone else to intervene, I fall into the deepest of sleeps. Dang. Dang. That... No, we're not continuing. No, we're not continuing here. Okay, I was gonna wait till the save point. No, we're not continuing. I need to... Yeah, no, that's perfect moment. Okay, so that was so much better than the Nero fight. And mind you, it's because the scale was so much bigger, but it really was just a really good fight scene. I'm excited to see some of those alternate solutions, and we'll check those out after for sure. So, though my throat is dead and it is almost 1 a.m., my family is going to kill me. Thank you all for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time for the aftermath of the Vlov fight. We'll see you then, guys. Ciao.
Yo.